looking for the address to pull up to Ray's house. Ray Tharpe. Ray and his father, Monty, started a company called RTM Industrial Maintenance. And these guys are experts at what they do. They're specialized. They have a multi-generational family legacy being in the wood industry. And I'm really excited to go behind the scenes and walk with them, hear their stories, talk to them about their legacy, how it is that they kept their values alive, and what they're doing to support customers in this region. Good to go.
Hi, my name is Ray Tharpe. I'm the owner and president of RTM Industrial Maintenance, and I'd like to welcome you to my home here in Dauphin, Virginia.
What is RTM? If you could explain RTM to somebody who's maybe not so familiar with Sawmill or our industrial sector.
RTM is a full-service millwright company that specializes in the forestry industry. We service sawmills, do equipment installation, custom welding, fabrication. We can troubleshoot, do a precision alignment of your equipment. We really focus heavily in the sawmill industry.
Ray, so where are we at right now? This is your house? Primary residence?
My home, yes sir.
What do you like to do when you're not at work?
I'll be riding side by side, hunting, hanging out with friends and family.
I love it. Today, Sunday, we're going to see a little bit about your family, get a chance to talk to them too, huh?
Yes sir.
What do we got here? I haven't seen your...
Oh, this is my home away from home. Right. Man cave.
So I guess wood is used in so many different places, but nobody ever thinks about how I think that equipment gets there.
Right.
And I think that's part of the thing that's the magic sauce that you and the team bring. When I went and toured around with you guys at job sites, nobody thinks about how it ends up there. They buy it and it shows up on a truck, is what I saw, and then what?
That's been the thing. Nobody knows who we are because we're kind of the middle guy. You know, you see the equipment at the show or online, YouTube, things like that, and then you see it in actual production in the facility.
Yes.
And like you say, how did it get there? What did it take to get it there? It just
Right.
didn't appear. So
Right.
we're those guys.
Ray, where are we at?
We're at Gates Custom Milling.
What all did you do here, you told me?
Yeah, we installed a Clearman carriage here as well as a McDonough optimized edger. How you doing, Mark?
Hello, man. Good to see you.
Hey, Nancy.
You ever come down through there?
Wonderful.
Hey, Nancy. How you, Ray?
Nice to see you.
Question from a high level, how does the product you make, what is the product you make and how does it get used out there in the real world?
So we are fully integrated from log to kiln dried products, green timbers, mulch products, and then finished interior and exterior and decking products. So,
Okay.
And we're specialized in species. So that's what makes us a little bit unique from the traditional sawmill, is that we are fully integrated from one end to the other, and we have worked in the specialty markets and relationships with wholesale distribution to fill niches. So we're competing a lot with imports and with synthetics, which makes it even more complicated. We're sort of trying to get shelf space with our wholesalers when there's an ever-changing number of products out there all the time. And we're working on those products that are both resilient, resistant to decay, and natural.
And we're customer driven. We very much have created our manufacturing facility around our customers' wants and needs. We built a ton of flexibility to it. So hopefully every log that is being sawn, there's a sale for that piece of lumber coming out of it before it's ever sawn. And hopefully.
No pressure. No pressure at all.
Well, I'll tell you, from the first time I come down here with Mike Upton, y'all have really taken this place to a new level.
working hard.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you
A few new levels.
know, seeing at the beginning and in there, I can see how hard, how much time y'all two have put into this.
Well, it is, and it's very much a joint effort. And, you know, we are very fortunate to have a good customer base, and my dad had established some nice relationships, and we sort of built on that, but it wouldn't be without his vision of seeing where we could grow and put, like he said, all of that stuff in a big flat bucket.
It's great. It's angry. The reality of it.
That is reality of our time.
Yeah.
It's like Gates Milling, doing our modular steel substructures that are pre-built in-house. You know, we shaved a week, maybe even a week and a half off of that installation schedule by building that stuff ahead of time and it forming to the layout of the mill as far as the concrete floor. The way our frames work, they had flexibility in the legs to follow the contours of the concrete. And then it speeds the process up when it comes to leveling. We're not doing a lot of surveying on site. More or less, once we lay our benchmarks out, we're able to build, and we put all that sub-steel in one day, where it would have been probably a week of fabrication in the field. So we essentially saved the customer a week's worth of work. And we accomplished it here in a controlled environment where you get a lot better quality fabrication. And like I said, we took things into days rather than making it weeks.
Sure.
You gave us a number. It was always a fair number, and you always stuck to it. And I was telling Nancy, one of the things that I wrote down was crazy was like when we were kind of at the tail end of the project. You were like, "Hey, Mark, I'm going to send these guys back and let them these will work in the shop. There's no need for them to be on your payroll right now when they really don't have that much to do," which was exactly contrary to some of the other contractors that we have working on the job.
Well, we try to be fair with everybody. And when you're fair, if both parties benefit from it, then it's a good deal.
Exactly. Well, you know, I always said it's like hitting home runs versus base hits. Base hits pay so much better in the long run. I mean, having that relationship to be repeat. And we're in an industry, you got to continue to change and add equipment, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So, you know, those relationships once established, you know, you're locked and loaded. So it's all, I mean, it's a benefit all the way around because it makes it easier for us to transition from one generation to the next, knowing that we've got someone that we can count on to give accurate, timely contracts on this type of work. And, you know, before, when we were in-house.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's great. It's good to have a relationship too, because also you guys, because you're going all over the country, you're seeing what works and what doesn't work. And, you know, so like you break, you know, we'll have a conversation like, you know, I want to try to do something different on my log processing system. And, you know, he would be one of the first people I've asked, what do you see that works for what we're trying to do? And, you know, the Edger deal was, we entertained several different ones and ultimately ended up using the one that, I mean, that was kind of a gift for us, is that not only did it turn out to be the right Edger, but that you were their main guy for putting it in. So, you know, I was like icing on the cake. Yeah.
So what do we got up ahead? It looks like a shop here.
Walking into the RTM area, or when we are at home, this is where we're working from. Do a lot of custom fabrication, and mainly just doing prep to get ready for the next installation. And we've gotten where we build a lot of our sub steel ahead of time now. We've come up with a way that we can prefab. That way when we go into the field, we're cutting the installation time in half.
Wow.
A lot of the work is done, we do it here at the shop and then haul it, demo the customer's existing substeel, put our new substeel in place, and be installing equipment within days rather than weeks. We're trying to find
the fabrication piece you're talking about.
Yes. And we're building that stuff in a controlled environment as well. It's not like you're out in the plant.
Sure.
Doing it piece by piece.
Yeah.
We're here at the shop, putting it all together. We're able to use wire welders versus stick welders, so that speeds up the productivity. And then, like I say, we're cutting the time in half. Because when we actually shut them down, that's when it gets expensive for the customer. Shop time is pretty inexpensive.
How do you go about being able to do that here? I mean, you're taking blueprints, or customer sends you prints, or you're
Yes,
sending you prints and you're able to put it together.
Prints are either supplied by the manufacturer, or we do have some engineering guy that does design work for us.
Yeah.
So if it's anything, if it's custom, we're able to send a guy in, let him design everything.
Sure.
And we're building off prints, not having to guess.
So Ray, I saw you guys here gathering with your crew, and then you go out. Tell me a little bit about how that typically turns around, how that happens. Just walk me through it.
Well, we'll have, depending on what's going on, this is the gathering spot before we disperse to the actual job sites, where we get together, go over the guidelines, whatever pertains to the job, assign them into each crew, and then they head to the different locations. And currently we're actively running 2 crews now. We found that we were at 3 crews and 17 guys. During the little slowdown of last year, we reduced staff a little bit, but we're still as efficient as we ever were. So we actually haven't bulked back up. We're still getting the same amount of work done, same quality of work with less people.
That's
but
really cool.
I commend that on the crew that we have, because the guys, they're amazing. They get in there, they get after it. A lot of them got some tenure with us now. They know what's going on, and they don't need a lot of guidance like they used to. But that's been a big help.
What goes into when you say fabrication? What does that mean?
We're custom building substeel. That's primarily what we do out of here. And we do manufacture some
For
basic.
somebody who's not familiar, what's substeel used in? And you're dealing with a lot of sawmill factories specifically, right? Can you kind of just put some more meat on those bones?
Substeel, that is the skeleton or the framework that the machinery attaches to. If we're not going directly to the concrete floor, say it's an elevated mill, then we're building the legs and the cap frames that go on top of them. Then the equipment will actually attach to that. It's what holds it. Substeel is what actually holds the equipment.
Why does a sawmill not just put a carriage right there on the floor, let's say?
Well, some do, but ideally it's good to have the equipment elevated because it makes things easier to service. It makes it easier to clean, which housekeeping is a big deal in the mill. And the higher up that you take the equipment, the more you can funnel debris, dust, bark. You can get it into a waste conveyor where it's easily moved out of the mill.
Okay.
It makes for the housekeeping. It keeps things so much more tidy compared to having it on the ground.
What do you do? What does a customer hire you to do? And why do you need fabrication capability is the ultimate question.
So when we're hired in, if we're going to do everything from the ground up, then that's where the steel work comes into play. I mean, some of the manufacturers do offer substeel packages where they build the steel, they'll build the frames to go with the equipment, and then it all comes like a big erector set, and then a guy like me puts it together. And sometimes the customer elects not to do that, then we'll take a manufacturer print or our own engineered prints and build the steel ahead of time. Well, that way we can cut down on the downtime when we actually pull the plug. I can get in there and demo, put the new stuff in place, and try to turn things around in half the time of what it would normally take.
So Ray, why do you need a CNC machine at the shop?
Making duplicate parts, pieces, we can do it so much faster and efficient compared to a fellow standing there, hand cutting something.
How would one do it by hand versus the machine here?
The machine, once we load, we'll load the CAD drawing into the program. Once you get everything calibrated, get your sheet of steel on there, you hit the go button and the machine takes over. The computer, every piece is going to be identical to each other. Where a man, he would have to physically locate every hole, punch it, drill it, and then cut the piece, grind it. This machine takes care of all of that, basic cleanup with a grinder, and we're done.
So the customer ultimately doesn't really know if it came from this or done by hand, but for you, it helps you be more efficient as a company.
And yes, we're a lot more efficient with this machine.
My name is Josey. We're at Josey Lumber Company, family-owned business. We're in Scotland Neck, North Carolina. So we are essentially a green hardwood sawmill. We cut about 10 or 11 million feet of hardwood lumber a year, and we have dry kilns, about 500,000 feet of dry kilns. So we cut 5 or 6 different species: poplar, red oak, white oak, cypress, maple, and ash.
Dad started in '83, and my brother has been here for about 25 years, and I've been here 20 years now. And really in 2011 is when we decided to start drying our own lumber. We were obviously just a green mill, and you know, it really takes on a whole new perspective when you're drying. You're not just shipping down the road, you're shipping on the other side of the world. So it changes our whole perspective on things. And then we started doing some expansion and updating some old equipment, and that's when we reached out to RTM and for help on the installation. And that's kind of grew our relationship from there. From our first project, I think we've done probably 6 with them now, maybe 7.
Here at your mill, do you have your own mill rights?
We do. We have, I got a mill manager that's been in the business since he's for 50 years. He's been here over 30. And then we've got a millwright, and you know, they're capable of doing day-to-day maintenance and stuff like that, but we're not built to install equipment ourselves. You know, that's why, you know, you reach out to Ray and his crew, they install it, and from that point on, we're capable of maintaining and taking care of it, but we don't have the manpower to, you know, demo stuff out on a large scale and put it back in. So, you know, it's important that you find somebody that you can count on.
I guess one thing is seeing Ray and his dad work together. I mean, they're a family-run business, and so are we. So it's neat to see that and see how they work together, and it kind of relate to how, you know, my father and I work together as well. So it's pretty neat to see that relationship on a different perspective.
What's important to you as a sawmill when you're thinking about new equipment, especially installation part of it?
Yeah. Well, you know, you obviously you want to reduce downtime and keep that to a minimum. We've got about 44 employees. So, I mean, that's who I think of.
Yeah.
You know, you got 44 people looking a paycheck.
Yes.
So the downtime is an important, you know, you want to minimize that.
That's right.
So at the same time though, and we've done it the other way too, where we tried to bring a crew in here and get it done really quick.
Yeah.
You know, and that bites you, you know. So we take it, you want to do it as quick as you can, but you want to do it as thorough as you can. So, you know, when we look at the equipment aspect of things, you know, obviously we're looking at either replacing old equipment that needs replacing or updating equipment to get more efficient, get more out of the log. So that's kind of the first thought that gets us going. But then, yeah, from an installation point, absolutely. I mean, you're looking at what can we do to minimize downtime. Multiple times throughout all these projects I just listed, they've come weekends or a week or two before, done some of the, you know, sub-steel work, you know, some of the things that they can do on a Saturday, Sunday that doesn't affect us running on the following Monday, and then they might come back a week or two later. Or, you know, I think a time or two they've, you know, just done enough to get us a week, and then they come back and finish it up later. These guys are sawmill guys. They know how important downtime is and trying to minimize that.
Downtime's the answer, right?
It really is. I mean, it's, you know, going into a project that you're going to lose sometime. It's just a matter of, let's keep it to a minimum.
Sure.
7, 8, 9 different times in the last few years. I mean, our relationship with the Joseys goes back to 2018, and those men, they've been actively upgrading and doing projects every year. The Gregory is the same. That's one of the biggest things that we pride ourselves on. I mean, of course, we're excited to get a new customer and get a new job. It's when we get the repeat business that that's the satisfying, and you feel the success that they want us back. That we did what we said we were going to do and accomplish what we came there to do.
I think Ray shares this philosophy too. One of the main things we do is we try to put ourselves in the customer's place. If we were the customer, what would we expect if we were hiring them to work for us or install a piece of equipment with us? And that's the way we built this company, and that's the way we run it. We try to put ourselves in their position. That's why we don't leave till we know every nut bolt is tight and that machine is producing.
Well, we really appreciate it, and thank you so much for allowing to even join you for that supper last night when the whole family got together. That was something special.
Yeah, we don't get to have family meals as often as we'd like with the traveling and all now. So it feels good to get to hold all the kids together and grandchildren. And
You even sat there with the little ones at the table you built for them, huh?
yeah, yeah, she was there all alone. I guess she's the baby, so I guess she has a little special place for me.
What's her name?
Sterling Jean. She's named Jean after her grandmother.
That's beautiful. How far back do you guys go in the logging and the wood products business?
Well, actually, I guess my great-grandfather had started it, a little sawmill, and back then they had steam engines.
Wow.
And then my grandfather, he was at sawmill and logging, and then my father, he started. So I'm fourth generation. Out of my brothers, I'm the only one that's really stuck with the wood industry. I guess some of the older generations tell me, well, boy, you got sap in your veins.
Is that right?
So, well, my dad, he used to tell me, he says, why don't you become a pharmacist? You can be warm in the winter and cool in the summer, and you can make good money. But it never interested me. I had an opportunity one time to go to work as a salesman with a farm supply, and just sitting there talking with the guy, and he finally said, he says, you're just not interested, are you? I said, no.
No, really?
There's no need me wasting your time anymore. Back to the sawmill I went.
Yeah.
So it never really clicked with me. I always enjoyed working with my hands. Ray, as a little boy, he was the same way. It never interested him except build things. He was always building something. I remember when my dad started, he bought a truck, a chainsaw, and a mule for $450. That's what he started logging.
You said like a mule, like the animal.
The animal. That's what they would snake the logs with.
I was just gonna say, why do you need a mule in the logging business?
That's what they used to snake the logs.
To get them when you fell the tree in the woods.
Yeah, they'd buck it up, then they would snake it out to somewhere where they would actually load the log. They would roll it on the truck by hand. There was no forklift. It was just all manual labor. Well, like I said, I've seen this business progress, through mechanization and now optimization. I've been active, actually full-time active since I was 16. 50 years I've been doing it. And it's kind of like a man told me one day. He said, man, we've gone from Stone Age to Rocket Age.
That's right.
In the sawmill industry.
Hey, there was talks about AI, and now it's the real thing.
Now it's the real thing, I can remember when they started talking about that, and now they got automatic graders,
Well, there's a lot less mechanical things you can knock on, and you got to work with the wires and the computers and stuff.
Yeah, you know, I mean, just look at the internet itself, how it's changed everything that we do. Just the internet. I look forward to. I don't mind change. Some people, change is hard for them. Especially these guys who are from the old school. Me, I embrace it because one thing, it's coming whether you want it or not.
That's right.
Well, I don't spend much time in this room, but this is just some of the things that I do. I'm a life member of the National Rifle Association. When I have time, I do cowboy action shooting. So I'm a life member of the SAS member.
Say that again. You're a member of the...
It's a cowboy action group.
What does that mean? What do you do?
Well, it's called a Single Action Shooting Society, and it's just a bunch of grown-ups that dress up like cowboys and shoot guns and have a good time.
That's my kind of people.
You know, we all have aliases. Mine's Sawyer Black. There's a knife right there that I tote on my gun belt.
This is what you bring with you?
Yeah. I don't use it, but I just, looks cool.
It does look cool.
And we all have badges. You have a badge with your membership number on it.
Okay, so this is yours.
And this is mine. I have a gold badge because I'm a life member.
You wear it when you're out there?
I wear it when I'm shooting. I dress up in my cowboy hat.
Monty, you say you're on the road a lot, or not really in the office, but when you do have a chance to be at home, what keeps you grounded? What keeps you in this office? What do you do in your morning times?
The morning times, and I do this every morning, whether I'm on the road or not. I get up and read a devotional, and I'll try to read 1 or 2 chapters in the Bible just to get my day started off right.
You've been doing that for a while, Monty?
Many years. Many years.
Why do you keep doing it?
Yeah, well, like I said, it makes me feel good.
Keeps you grounded?
Keeps me grounded. It's like going to school. You learn arithmetic by studying a book of arithmetic. You learn about God. This is his way of talking to us.
That's incredible.
A lot of people look for this great vision to come in a dream or whatever, but he's talking to us every day. I love to sit outside in the mornings because I see all the beauty when the sun comes up that God's created for us.
You take it in every day?
I try to take it in every day that I can. Absorb it. And what he's got in store for us is nothing compared to what he has in store for us is just, it's incomparable to what we have now. I mean,
that's right.
Can you imagine something better than what we have?
That's incredible.
I mean, it's no imagining. So yeah, I'm a better person for it, I think.
My mom and dad started Gregory Lumber in 1988. Started out with a little frick mill, just like all of them. We ran some hardwood, we ran some pine, and over the years we decided, or my mom and dad decided, our niche was pine, and started buying equipment that was more dedicated or specialized in manufacturing pine. Over the years, I came to work here when I was 8 years old. That was probably in 1990-ish, something like that. And this is all I've ever known. Over the years, we kind of went from a really small pine mill to a decent sized pine timbers mill. We're not a big mega mill. We don't cut hundreds of million feet a year or anything like that. But we're big enough that we can give you real support for our pressure treaters and our industrial accounts and what have you. And that's pretty much in a nutshell what we do here.
Grandchildren. I have 13 white ones, and I'm not telling you about the rest of them, but that thing never stopped showing me my grandbabies all day long.
That's incredible.
I love my grandbabies. I don't like my children. I just tolerate them. I love my grandchildren.
I'll tell you, every customer we've been to has been gracious to us. and really, you know, some of you stand out, and naturally y'all do. I'm not saying that just because I'm sitting here in front of you. I tell everybody that the Gregors are some good people to work with. There's a lot of mills we go to, not like y'all. Y'all are hands-on. Y'all roll your sleeves up and get right in there with us on it.
Well, you know, we had such a hard time getting started up. And that's what sticks in my mind on you. It's 28 degrees and we ain't blowing for, what, a week and a half? And you never left us. I mean, we made phone calls, we ground wheels, we tried everything under the sun. And you said, I'm not leaving here till this thing is running. And that stuck in my mind. It takes a whole lot to do that. I probably wouldn't have stayed except for I lived next door. I didn't have any place to go.
And I called Ray, I was say a little bit in a panic, and said, hey, you know, after talking to Clearman, talking to the controls and optimization, they really don't want to spend Christmas opening presents in Java. So like, we need to start this thing like now. It was 3.5 weeks later. I started ripping everything out and worked 7 days a week, from like November 13th until December 13th. We fired the band mill up. Had a little bit of a rough start, as Dad was just mentioning, but you know, something that stood out. A lot of people went home for Christmas and stuff, but Dad, as a mill owner, was there. Ray, as the owner of RTM, and Monty were there, and myself and, you know, 1 or 2 others fighting this band mill. And I think that's kind of, you know, what sets Gregor Lumber apart is how much him, my brother, and myself are involved, and then on that side, how much they're involved.
And we talking about working, you know, from daybreak to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, 7 days a week for how long, Ray? 3 weeks?
Yeah, about 3-4 weeks.
Yeah. But it's running. It's running smooth. And we couldn't have done it now without Ray because we didn't understand the technology of a band head rig. We had run horizontal bands, but this is a 17-degree tilt. And we didn't know what we were walking into. Ray had to take the bull by the horns, and we had to follow and kind of learn what the problems are and how to overcome them. And I'm gonna be honest with you, if it weren't for that man, we wouldn't have gotten it done. We would have, but it probably would have taken an extra month to figure it out. So my hat's off to Ray.
One thing that stood out is that they really valued the fact that you stood by their side until things were running, not just installed. And that meant a lot to John that we visited and his team, and others mentioned that as well. But Ray, what motivates you to stay there until the job's done the way they want it done? Why not install and go to the next project?
Not delivering a finished product. Even though it's a brand new piece of equipment, you know, there's still hurdles, leaps and bounds in all of it. And as I was saying earlier, I mean, yes, we are equipment installer, but our specialty is to get the machine up to peak performance. And when you hire us, that's what you're gonna get. We're gonna be right there until you're grinning and kick us off the payroll. So, and like the Gregory's experience, we had some flukes that we had to overcome with band mill, and you know, they were new to vertical band mills, which that's one of the things that we do all the time. Multiple times a year we're putting them in, alignments, maintenance on them, and it's just that's our extra to the installer side, that we can stay there, troubleshoot something, and get it up to where it's supposed to be.
Every job, we kind of run up against something, especially if we're removing old equipment and replacing with new. We run into problems, unforeseen troubles. Maybe it might be a concrete issue, or 30 years steel had been welded in places that you can't really see till once the piece of equipment out. And you know, it's things that we don't see that can kind of, and it's kind of disheartening. You know, you got this plan, what you're going to do, and then you move this piece of steel and you realize, uh-oh, we got a problem. But we have to overcome those problems. I've said it before, I've said it many times, and I've said it all through my life and all through my career. A sawmill is only good for one thing, and that's to manufacture lumber. So downtime is critical. In my experience from running sawmills, breakdowns will kind of scare you, but the downtime can break you. So him and I both, we try to minimize that downtime as much as possible, and prefabbing stuff really cuts that downtime down for the mills.
Prior to 2016, we did everything in-house. We never hired a contractor to do anything but run conduit, and did everything not to do that too. I ran most of it myself, you know, but we learned some very expensive lessons there, is that we need to focus on what bought this new investment, which is producing lumber and a high quality and customer service. And guys like Ray allow us to stay focused on what we do to make our living, and let them take care of the new installment of the new equipment. Now we need to work hand in hand together, but it allows us to keep our eye on the big ball, which is producing lumber and producing high quality lumber. So
Now, follow-up question to that. How did you guys even meet?
I don't know, Ray. I think our past mill manager introduced us to you.
Well, I knew Jared. The mill manager was actually, I was married to his cousin. So him and I had a relationship that went back over 20-some years. But when I first met you guys personally, I came in with McDonald when you were looking at purchasing the edger and the reman unit. I came with Matt and Hugh down here.
And we elected and installed that ourselves.
Y'all did yourself, but y'all
and then had you come back in and do
right.
a precision alignment after I'd laid the line out.
That's right.
Yep.
That's what got the ball rolling with our relationship.
I met Rocky, Mike Upton and I come up here and looked at that horizontal. I don't know, when did y'all put that in?
Put it in 98, 99.
All right, so it was 98 or 99 when I came up here with Mike Upton. And I already knew your dad from years ago during my Chesapeake days, because we'd sold him some hickory logs over here for the chips.
But the thing that made RTM different than the rest of the contractors is that those guys that worked in sawmills and understood that, yes, a drawing is very helpful, but sometimes you just have to fly by the seat of your pants, and you have to make the lumber that's at point A land at point B, and there's no drawing to get you there. You just have to figure it out. And you know, all this new equipment we bought the last decade or so comes with really nice blueprints and drawings, but like Stone mentioned this morning, Ray caught that the roll case was going to land out in no man's land somewhere if we hadn't shorted it up. So I've seen contractors come in and say that blueprints are the Bible and don't check them. And that can be very expensive and very painful if you do it that way. So I guess it's a mixture of that sawmilling and common sense, and then still has the ability to read drawings and do an engineer's job. So
one of the problems that we saw in other contractors coming in, they never sawmill. They basically stayed until about 3 or 4 days after startup. They might have been here a year doing the installation, but then they couldn't help us on startup because they didn't know how to make it run. Ray had 15, 20 years of experience in sawmill, and Monty had, 80 or 90 years in the sawmill industry.
It feels like 80.
That makes a big difference when you've got somebody that says, hey, I ran this, I did this, I know how to take care of it. You're going too fast, you're going too slow. On a feed speed into a saw, that really sets Ray and his group apart. That, and when you're working with somebody that a lot of them are kin and family, and it's an 8, 10, 15, 20 man crew, it's different from working with somebody that's got 50 people and nobody knows each other, and it's just a different world the way they work. In like say 2 days after you start up, they might move a hand railing, but they don't know why that hand railing's in the way. And that's what set Ray apart with us.
Gentlemen, that was incredible. So far, we visited several sawmills, and just seeing how much the people respect the RTM brand and the work that your teams are putting in, many long days, sounds like many long hours, and even into the weekends and holidays. Many people really truly appreciate that, and we just heard firsthand from the owners, from management of these mills. I just see how much the people in the industry respect you for the work you're putting in. Monty, maybe you could share, how does that make you feel now that you're approaching an anniversary?
Well, it's very pleasing to know, how well they speak of us. And I think Ray would agree with this. Our team of the people with us, our teams, they're a great bunch of guys. And I have to really give all it to them because they're the ones that are out there doing the work. And by the grace of God, we're able to be out there. So we give all the glory to God and all the praise to our employees.
That's incredible. Ray, how about yourself?
I feel likewise on that. I'm very proud of each and everybody that is part of this team. Without them, the jobs wouldn't get done. And we're bringing a level of satisfaction with our efforts that is making the impact to help these other companies. It means a lot to me. I'm very proud of it all.
And my son couldn't wear them, his feet were too big. So no other child has worn them, but those were Monty's.
Pretty darn cute.
It is. His mom saved those. Not a lot of stuff was saved. My grandfather immigrated to the United States from Holland, and he brought these with him. So.
Can I see this one? Or one of them? So they're an heirloom.
This is my mom and dad right here. That's right before they got married. So then, when I was 4, he passed away in an accident, and she raised us alone. And when I was 18, she married my stepdad, which was my dad's first cousin.
Why are the crosses special to you? You have so many here and all over the home. And
I started collecting them, and then I don't know if I read it somewhere, or I don't know, to surround yourself what makes you happy, what makes you feel good. So of course I have all my kids and family pictures.
Sure.
But the crosses make my day every day.
What's the cross mean to you personally?
It reminds me how I'm supposed to be, that I'm supposed to live a Christian life and do what God wants me to do. So I have a bad moment or something, I look up and that's what I see.
You don't remember that one, I know. When I'd come in from work, you got at my lap and we both fell asleep. Mom had gone to the grocery store. I remember that. She came in and took the picture. Do you remember any of these?
No.
Here's one where you're all greasy. I don't remember exactly. We were probably rebuilding a motor and you done crawled up in that. What did he tell you, Mama? You said he told you.
Came in the house so excited. Look, Mommy, I'm all greasy. He was so proud of himself.
It's a lifetime in just a few pictures.
I've been knowing Ray and Monty for 30 years probably. Before they went in business for themselves, they worked at probably one of our competitors on tracts of timber, Upton Lumber Company. And but sawmillers are always, competitor or not, if he needed something that I had and they were broke down, he could borrow or whatever, and I could do the same from him. That's the way we've always been. A good group of men that get here on time, they do what they say they're gonna do. Ray works with his men, which is important to me, because I've always worked with my men.
Len, so you've seen the sawmill industry progress over the years. What are the major decades of technology improvements that you've seen? If you say, what is it you said you started with again?
Going from a circle saw to band saws.
Yeah.
From thick kerf saws to thin kerf saws. And we even did that with our original circle saw. Over time, bought different teeth and so forth before we went to our band saw. And then the optimization to get more out of the same log, you know, 5, 10, 15% more wood out of the same logs that you've always been sawing.
Right.
And the different types of handling equipment that you can get to not damage the wood as much and to put more in the pack, so to speak. And the capability of selling all the byproduct and using it all instead of, you know, when we bought this mill, there was a burner out back, a big giant, we call it a TP. And all the sawdust, that thing burnt 24/7.
Yeah.
It just kind of smoldered and it burnt the sawdust.
Yeah.
But now we're burning the sawdust, making steam to dry the lumber.
Can we see it from here?
The boiler?
Yeah. Is it back behind?
That's the silo, that concrete
Yep.
silo. That's
Yeah.
full of sawdust. And
That's
the
that
boiler
silo.
room is right beside it.
So that silo that we're seeing, that is where you're storing sawdust.
Now, when we bought the mill, there was a big giant metal TP. Looked just like a wigwam.
Uh-huh.
And the dust fell in the top.
Yep.
And it was on fire in there, and it just constantly burnt, smoldered, and burnt the sawdust up.
So now you've got that filled up, and so what is it that you're in the boiler creating heat?
Steam the steam is pushed to the dry kilns. The kilns have giant radiators in them, just like in your pickup truck.
Yeah.
And the fans blow the heat off of the radiators to dry the lumber.
All right. So when somebody says sawmills, they have a lot of waste.
No waste.
How would you describe your process? There isn't much waste, right?
No.
Or there is no waste, really.
No, but the bark is used for, you know, mulch and so forth. The sawdust is used for our fuel for the boiler, and the chips are used to make paper to wipe your butt. So.
You guys hear that? No waste in the sawmill. That's right. And as you've done these different projects now, you've used RTM services to do what exactly on your site? Just kind of a big picture.
Putting in the most recent big job was the auto grader at the planer mill, and which has artificial intelligence, and you can train it to do what you want.
I was just going to say, one thing that I find interesting is that we've now toured several sawmills in the last couple of days, and over again, what I'm hearing is RTM is having repeat work with the customers they're working with, and just curious if you'd recommend them to the next sawmill that would need their services.
Unless I needed them first.
There you go. I got you.
I feel the level of importance. I feel that we have a place in this industry. We have a lot of knowledge and expertise in things that that's what we're here to share, to help the manufacturers, help the customers, to be more profitable all the way around. I mean, essentially, we're all in this together, and learning and evolving together is what's going to keep the industry flowing.
Monty, how about yourself?
Well, the way I look at it is of what use or what good if we have a wealth of knowledge and abilities and we don't share it with someone else. As Ray said, we're all in this together. I don't care who it is or what they do, even if it's, say, one of my competitors that's installing equipment. I do not want to see them fail. And if they're doing something and need some advice or something, we freely give it. We've always done it, and we will continue to do that. We're not out here like we're fighting a battle, and you got to be the king of the hill. If you know something, I think it needs to be shared, whether it's a customer or competitor or with one of our employees. Well, Ray's right. I mean, all 30 years. I mean, I've known known the owner of Virginia Carolina before he even bought the sawmill.
Oh wow!
So some history there. But like Ray said, there's many of us around here that's been in the sawmill business. We pick the phone up and say, look, we got a problem, and they freely give us some information, loan us a part. And we did the same thing. If they had a question about something, hey, we're trying this piece of machinery and y'all are running one, what can you tell us? Well, this is what we learned with it.
That's quite incredible. Where does that come from, Monty? Why are you doing that?
Well, I guess it's just mutual respect that we would do that. Competition has never really worried me. I look at it as if it's two ball players. One is very talented in playing ball and you're not. You just have to play harder. And my entire life I've been like that. And people have treated me that way, like I said, we have no secrets. If we know something and we can help you, we're going to do our best to help you. And we're certainly not going to tell you anything wrong, because if we're not sure, we're not going to tell you.
Monty, we talked a lot about legacy and how you built the company this forward. Going forward, what are your plans? You said you want to step back a little bit and give the reins to Ray. How does that make you feel, and what's the future look like?
Well, I've told y'all I try not to use the word proud, because, but I'm very proud of Ray. He's done wonderful, and he faces his challenges, and he's a problem solver, and he's a great leader on top of it. So as far as the company goes, I mean, that will continue, as long as he's there. Somebody called me and said, "Look, we need a lineman job." I said, "Well, you need to call Ray." I said, "Think of us as carpenters. I'm the rough end carpenter. He's the finished carpenter."
That's a good way.
And it works good this way. Mm-hmm. So I'll go in and do a lot of stuff in the beginning, and he comes in and finishes it up. So the problem of mine is a lot of times I never get to see the machine run because I'm going to another job.
That's right.
I don't look at my leaps and bounds being success. The success is when the customer looks at me and shakes my hand and says, "Thank you. We'll have you back again." That's the success part for me.